Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. Let's move towards today's top stories, and we'll begin with the most important one from Saudi Arabia. The overall situation that's developing is creating a certain impression, and so we'll try to not only raise a question around this, but also present the similarities for you to consider. Currently, Pakistan's Field Marshal, meaning the army chief, is in Saudi Arabia. Pakistan's Form 47 Prime Minister is also in Saudi Arabia. Not just that, the current Chief Justice, however questionable, is also in Saudi Arabia, and not only him, Justice Aminuddin, who is heading all benches related to political cases, especially those involving Imran Khan or upcoming constitutional amendments, is also in Saudi Arabia. So whether you look at the military side or the judicial side, all key figures of this regime are in Saudi Arabia. You may say I'm reading too much into this, that people went there due to Hajj. Fine, let's accept that. But then you cannot ignore the political buzz happening there, the fact that the Field Marshal and the Form 47 Prime Minister are meeting with Mohammed bin Salman. Not only that, immediately after this visit, Jolani, the new head of Syria, after the removal of Bashar al-Assad, is visiting Pakistan. It's clear that this is diplomatically sensitive for Pakistan, especially considering their relations with Iran. Yet Jolani is very close to Saudi Arabia. When President Trump last visited Saudi Arabia, Jolani also met with him there, and the United States at that time withdrew its terrorism label from him, clearly due to Saudi support and trust. Now, why am I pointing all this out? Because we've seen this movie before, not just a trailer. The whole movie ran in Egypt. I'm talking about General Sisi, how he overthrew the elected government, imprisoned the president, and, as some say, caused his death in jail due to a so-called heart attack. Many parallels can now be seen between what happened in Egypt and what's happening in Pakistan. In Egypt, members of the ruling party were hunted down, imprisoned or eliminated. The same is now happening here. Just like bullets were fired on our own people on November 26 in Pakistan, such violence also occurred in Egypt. General Sisi received full endorsement from all major global powers and Muslim countries except Iran. Similarly, what's happening in Saudi Arabia today isn't just news, this is an analysis. I'm laying the situation out for you. I acknowledge I may be overreading the situation due to my personal bias, my political alignment with Imran Khan, and my emotional connection with the cause. Maybe my perspective is flawed or slanted. That's why I invite you all to comment. Tell me if you also see these events aligning with Egypt's history. Do you think Pakistan is on the same path? Are all our centers of power being present in Saudi Arabia just a coincidence, or is it part of a pre-planned script? Let's move to the next story, from Adiala jail. Once again, Imran Khan is spending his fourth Eid in jail. Once again, he wasn't allowed to offer Eid prayers. He was informed a day earlier that he wouldn't be permitted to offer Eid prayers. Not only that, but even the customary Eid meetings with family, especially with Bushra Bibi, who's also in the same prison, were not allowed. Now, Chaudhry, likely referring to a commentator or official, follows a routine he calls you corrupt, cowardly, compromised, unpatriotic, questions your religious beliefs, your character, and attacks you from every angle. This time, they launched news stories attacking Imran Khan's faith, claiming that during Eid prayers, he was resting in his jail cell. But if they already told him the day before that he couldn't offer prayers, where else would he be? It was a deliberate attempt to portray him negatively, assassinate his character, and question his religious beliefs. Then there was a shameless Eid transmission on Dunya TV featuring Suhail Warich, Kamran Shahid, Irshad Bhati, and Fiza Ali, who hosts morning shows. Jawad Ahmed, a singer, I've never heard his songs and don't know if he sings well or not, was also there. On national TV during Eid, they launched vulgar attacks on Bushra Bibi, someone who can't even defend herself. They mocked her veil and other personal matters in an ignorant and shameful way. Suhail Warich, who has always posed as a moderate, non-personal journalist, has in recent months resorted to personal attacks, as if he's a member of the Sharif family. His recent articles and columns have also reflected this tone. Now let's come back to Saudi Arabia. Our Field Marshal has done something unprecedented. He's the first army chief to become this close to the Sharif family. It's as if he's part of their family, as if there's a relationship, not just coordination, but deep friendship or kinship. This kind of closeness is clearly visible. He's seen standing shoulder to shoulder with Nawaz Sharif's son and Mariam Nawaz's brother, performing umrah and prayers. This isn't an administrative or political relationship, it appears deeply personal. You've never seen this level of proximity before. Yes, army chiefs have accompanied prime ministers during Saudi visits due to military, financial and religious concerns. I went to Saudi Arabia with Imran Khan when General Bajwa was also there. But even then, they had separate schedules, separate delegations, separate visits to the Prophet's mosque and for Umrah. They were never seen together like this. Even though Bajwa was conspiring against Khan from day one, you still didn't see this kind of public display. But now it's clear, this is deep friendship. You saw Nawaz Sharif's son performing Umrah, Shahbaz Sharif performing Umrah, and the Field Marshal performing Umrah all together. Meanwhile, Nawaz Sharif was in London reliving memories and having his praises sung by a random mediocre singer. I don't mean any disrespect, but he was being praised in such an awkward way by a singer who sounded like someone from a local street. Only 15 to 20 people were in attendance and he sat at a table while being serenaded with self-praise. His political circle has shrunk, his thought process has shrunk, his aura and impact have shrunk. Even his party stature has diminished. On the one hand, you have Nawaz Sharif's lonely, sad gathering in London. On the other, you have the Field Marshal and Sharif family parading as one deeply bonded group in Saudi Arabia. That's the situation I've laid out before you. All right, now moving on to the third news story I want to present to you, Jahangir Tareen's indication of returning to politics. As you know, Jahangir Tareen was initially involved in politics with General Musharraf, then he joined Imran Khan, and later he formed his own party. When he launched his own party, he contested elections from Lodran and Multan against Amir Dogar in Multan. In both constituencies, he faced a crushing defeat. Actually, not just defeated, he was made to lose. Now, why do I say made to lose? Yes, the people voted for other candidates, so technically he lost in terms of votes. But who even counts the votes anymore? Everywhere, Form 47S were issued. If there had been an intention to let Jahangir Tareen win, he would have won, just like Shahbaz Sharif and Mariam Nawaz were made to win, or how 70 to 80%, even 90% of the current Assembly members were made to win through Form 47S. He could have been made to win the same way, but he wasn't, not in either of the constituencies. The military establishment, particularly our current Field Marshal, took some sort of revenge on him, who knows why, but they certainly did. Now the problem for Tareen is that he has lost political relevance. His defeat was humiliating. On top of that, he made a morally questionable move the people from Pakistan, Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, who were abducted and brought on TV and forced to switch parties, like Ali Nawaz Awan. He included them in his party. So not only did he form a new party, a kind of military-engineered party, and lose badly, but he also used coercion to bring people over. He had Pir Amir Iqbal Shah abducted, who was running against him in Lodran. I mistakenly said Iqbal Shah earlier. His correct name is Pir Amir Iqbal. Let me correct that. So yes, Tareen had him abducted too, yet even with that, he wasn't granted a Form 47. It was a very disgraceful situation for him. Now, in a recent press conference, Jahangir Tareen announced that if he returns to politics, he'll do so alongside Makhdoom Ahmad Mahmood. Makhdoom was a former governor and a Pakistan People's Party, or PPP, member. He's also Tareen's close relative, but historically a fierce political rival. It seems now their relationship has improved, and Tareen hinted that he may return to politics through the PPP platform. Let's see what happens in the coming days, but this announcement clearly suggests that he might join PPP. The real question is, if he joins PPP, will he again resort to abducting candidates like Pir Amir Iqbal? Will he again abduct female lawyers like Ifat Sumro Advocate, who was also running in the elections? Despite all these extreme measures, he wasn't able to secure victory through Form 47 either. A very embarrassing situation indeed. All right, next we move to a news story from Kashmir. India has constructed a railway bridge to connect its territories with Kashmir. Now, a high-speed train can run directly from Srinagar to other regions of India. This bridge is approximately 332 meters high above the river, possibly the tallest bridge in Asia or South Asia. It took them 26 years to build. The concept was conceived 26 years ago, and it's now completed. This is part of India's ongoing effort to fully absorb Kashmir. The latest development is this rail connection directly to Srinagar. Moeed visited the site, hoisted flags, and celebrated in full display because Moeed, just like our field marshal and all leaders with authoritarian mindsets, when given even a small opportunity, they try to take over the entire narrative. So, just like what's happening in Pakistan, after any clash or skirmish, the effort to dominate the internal narrative begins. The DG, ISPR and others behave exactly like Moeed. You're seeing similar actions. Moeed pulled similar stunts at the bridge inauguration. We're reporting this to highlight how rapidly India is penetrating into Kashmir, while on our end our situation is weak. The compromises made on Kashmir by General Bajwa have had serious consequences, and we are witnessing those outcomes now. Now, let's move to Birmingham, a city in the UK. Not Bahawalpur, not Banu, not any Pakistani city. This is Birmingham. There, something happened that we often see in Pakistan or India. A sacrificial animal was not handled properly, broke free and started running wild on the streets of Birmingham. Obviously, when an animal senses it's about to be slaughtered, it panics and can become dangerous. The locals, British people, were all alarmed and confused about what was happening. So, on one hand, Birmingham looked like Pakistan. On the other, Peshawar looked like Spain. Because similar videos came from Peshawar where a sacrificial animal was mishandled and ran through the streets. It looked exactly like the bullfighting events in Spain, where bulls run wild, people provoke them, climb poles to escape and hide. The entire scene was similar, except the people were Pakistani. So please, when you're going to perform the act of sacrifice, at least involve a professional butcher or learn how to handle the animals properly. So many disturbing videos have emerged where animals got up mid-slaughter, bleeding and ran away. Some even injured people, knocked them over or jumped off transport trucks. Many terrifying clips are circulating. Since there's still 1 or 2 days left for Eid in Pakistan, please handle your animals properly so this sacred process remains dignified. Also, a personal request, do not film the animal being slaughtered, its blood pouring, or its meat being cut. I believe filming this is disrespectful to the entire act. These graphic images are shared on social media and people send them to each other. Of course, the act of sacrifice is an obligation and must be done for Allah's sake. But there is no need to film it. Avoid this. Respect the sanctity of the sacrifice. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.